Hello, hello. Welcome back to another installation of What Would Lou Do? So today, you see before you, we have finally, or I have finally finished the backstop for our shooting range. This here was a ton of work and it didn't turn out exactly like what I had planned, but I figured it would be a good opportunity to just kind of go over it with you guys and just show you what all I've done here, what I wanted to do, and how much this cost me to put together in case any of you guys want to do the same thing. Now, this was very hard for me to do by myself, trying to get these things way up here. Yeah, that wasn't quite so easy. If you know anything about railroad ties, it's basically like a huge tree trunk that you're trying to lug around and pull up, and I'll tell you guys how I got this accomplished. Now we can get out here and show you these Pistolas in action, right? So let's just get up here and show you what I've got. Structurally, you see that I've just got one row and another row. What I originally wanted to do was to stagger these sort of like right here. You see there's two and then one, and then put some short ones. Now, not only would that have required me to do a lot of sawing, but unfortunately with these not being fresh cut, there's a lot of bows and bends and everything. Like if you look right here, I'm gonna move this wood here. This is just some extra wood I had, not using it on here. It's just kind of unloaded with the trailer. But you see there, you see how much that's sticking out right there? Well, that actually bends out this way. And you see that gap in between there, right? So that one's bowing up this way. So once I tried to stagger these, it was not going to happen. I rotated them and too much trouble. So what I wound up doing was just putting two columns here and went to a plan B of sorts. My original plan was to have a little wall here on the sides. So a wall there. But now I'm thinking what I might do eventually is extend this way. That way we have a lot more room to do some things. But this is definitely going to be good for right now. Let's show you what we did to the back here. All right, so here you can see how we've got this arranged here. So I dug down about a foot where each one of these ties are and used the sledgehammer to really pack that dirt around. Then I took some 10-inch lag bolts in there and got all these things to where they would hold. And then in the middle here, since there was a gap running down the entire length here, I just dug a hole and then stuck this one in there. That way it would catch anything that might make it through that little gap right there. So again, this wasn't the original plan. I wanted to stagger them, but they were just too bowed. I mean, you can see right here the light that's in between that one, right? Now, I know over time that'll probably settle down, especially once they get wet and heavy. As for right now, it is what it is. A lot of people, what they do is they take and put field dirt or like red clay and stuff back behind here. I was actually thinking maybe putting concrete in behind here. You could take and fill these cracks with mud, almost like a log cabin. And then you could build a wall, a retaining wall, and then pour some concrete down in there. If anything makes it through there, it's going to be basically shooting at a rock wall. I don't see any bullet getting through there. Oof, dang, my hands are dirty. Sorry about that. That's basically how I've got this whole thing put together here. How in the world did I manage to get these up here like this? Well, this right here is what I use actually. It's a ratchet strap. And basically what I would do is wrap one side around and then with the other, put it through to where it was almost like a loop, and I could just drag it. We dropped them off somewhere in this region. I had to drag them all the way over to here. And boy, I tell you, it was rough. And so I'd put one end up on there and then just kind of move it around. It really got hard once we were up here to this one. Now, it may not look that high to you. That one right there is every bit of 6 foot, right? I can walk up to it and it's just an inch above my head, and I'm 5'11". And then I just threw that one on there because it was like I had one left. It's like, might as well just throw it on there. So those two on the top, if you were to push it, could fall, but the rest of these are very secure except for right here in the middle. It could potentially come out this way. So what I'm going to do is go get some more lag bolts and eventually bolt all those together as well. Now, I would say altogether, it's probably about 4 or 5 days to do this, because there was 2 days of moving these things, and I got late start, and doing this by myself, it was really tiring and strenuous, and I had to try my best to maneuver these in a way to where I wouldn't get injured. And then there were a lot of delays, like trying to put the bolts in here. The drill bit that I had wasn't long enough, so I found one that was long, but it was dulled down, so I kind of sharpened it and reprofiled it and everything. It wasn't sharp enough for the little Milwaukee there to push it through. I had to go get a DeWalt drill bit that was like $20. And then I used my impact gun there, the old Yeller DeWalt. That thing is a beast. One day I'm going to have to do a review on that, because that is a really good impact. It's not failed me on anything that I put it to, and I've had it for years and years and years. So while DeWalt tools can be on the expensive side, they usually last you and you won't have to buy another one. As far as my targets go, you can see that I could use some more here, and I definitely will. One of the things I want to do is to put one of those frames with some of these little danglies, and then on the tops to where they fly down like that. I'm probably going to do that myself. I've seen how expensive these stands and things can be, and targets, and it is way too expensive to just go throwing money on it all. So these 3 right here you see actually came in a 3-pack at Sportsman's Warehouse. I've had these for a while. They were not originally white. They were orange, actually. And if you look at them, the way that they work is you hit it and it swings. This is one I'd probably have more of. This one's pretty much the same style. Now this one is the latest edition. I wanted one that I could put paper targets on, something I could get close up to, so I could do a lot of those drills, like, like falling back and pow, 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 things like that. But yeah, I wanted a paper target that would be about my height, right? So I could shoot and it hit approximately where a person's head would be, right? Because the person's not going to be on the ground. Everyone gets used to shooting on the ground, and once it comes time to shoot, it's like, you really think you're going to shoot that you've been aiming for? Man, maybe not. Speaking of this target, this is a Birchwood Casey target. The frame is good quality. It has where you can put little stakes down there to hold that to the ground. But this plastic here, on the other hand, is straight up garbage. This right here is not going to last very long in the heat or the cold. You can see how thin it is. And if I just pull it, you can see how much it bends already. It's got little fitments. I think there's like 4. No, there's 3. So you've got one that goes in the stand, another one, and so on and so forth. I may do an official review on one of these, or stands in general. But as far as this one goes, right now, out of the gate, I would say this part is what you're paying for, because this here is not going to last at all. So I see why a lot of guys, replace these with wood, and I'll probably do the same thing, just get a couple of furring strips, which is basically just some really thin wood. Now, the one thing I do like about this style is that this slides down in there. You see that little, so it drops down in, and that would be good because I have plenty of cardboard. We use tons of cardboard boxes because of our distilled water. And so you could just slide one of those in and put a target to it, or take cardboard and draw your own target on there, which is what I'm going to do most of the times, because that's another expense that you have to figure in, right? I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, like, how that probably costs a lot of money. A lot of times, the cheapest you can find railroad ties is about $15 here in South Carolina, that is. Georgia, Virginia, right? The cheapest is about $15. So if you multiply that by 15, that's a lot of moolah right there, right? Luckily, there's a little thing called Facebook Marketplace, and a lot of times you can find railroad ties for free. Now, you may not find enough to do 2 columns like we have here, but you can probably at least find maybe 4 or 5 and then saw those and then just do your one little area, right? What I paid for these is goose egg. These were actually free. Now, technically, I had to drive there to get them, right? So you've got gas, and we made 2 trips, but that was on 1 tank, so I'm not going to count the gas. $20 to pay my brother to help me. First, it was my wife helped me lift some of these into our trailer, and then we quickly realized that she wasn't going to be able to help me do this. And so then I had my brother go and help me get the second load. $55 for the drill bit and the hardware. Yeah, for about $75 I got this all thrown together, and technically I could probably return that drill bit and get $20 back. So you're looking at maybe, again, $50, $55. I just wanted to update you guys and show you what we've been working on. I haven't been editing many videos lately because I've been doing this. I've been putting in a shallow well. I've had a lot of outdoor projects going on, and I ran into a lot of pauses and stoppages with each one of those projects. So as you can imagine, they've gone on longer than what I've intended, but thankfully we've got one finished, and now we can get some pewing going on, right? Hopefully you guys are now excited knowing that we are going to be actually field testing some of those wonderful pew stolas that you've seen, and some that you haven't seen actually. So I think that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, we ask you to strike that like, swell that bell, subscribe and vibe with us, and make us feel all appreciated, baby. We appreciate you guys for watching. As we always say, seek ye the Lord while it may be found, and call upon him while he is near, because he is near unto those that be of a broken heart, and save such to be of a contrite spirit. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. He resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So cast yourselves down before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Until next time, guys, take care, and God bless.